Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Empowering Women in Chiropractic. I'm your host, Dr. Kathy, and I am excited to talk to you this week about goal setting. It's probably been a while since you've set your goals. If memory serves me correctly, it's probably been about 9 months because most people set their goals at the start of the new year. And most people have skipped their goal setting these last few years. So today we're going to dig into why we need to set goals, how to effectively set goals, and how to keep yourself on track to make sure that you are achieving and exceeding your expectations. First and foremost, I want to tell you, if you have not been setting goals for the last few years, you are not alone. I have not been setting goals. A lot of my clients have not been setting goals. A lot of my patients have not been setting goals. And the reality is, when we're living in a world with a lot of indecision and a lot of unknowns and a lot of who knows what's about to hit tomorrow, it's difficult for people to wrap their brain around the concept of setting goals. If you don't know what's coming, it's really hard to make a plan because you know that it's just going to get blown to smithereens anyway. And that's basically the comment that I've gotten from so many of the women that I work with. Why bother making plans if the universe is just going to destroy them anyway? Or prevent me from taking the action steps, or change the whole course of history. So a lot of people have foregone and skipped making plans, but the time is now. Things are settling down. The world is starting to spin a little bit more normally, or at least on a rhythm and a pattern that's predictable. And your life is probably getting busier. Kids are back to playing sports. School events are starting to happen on a regular basis. Your patients are coming in on a regular schedule. Things are going on in your community. There's events, there's opportunities to market. So when all of this stuff is happening around you, you're probably starting to get busy again. And if you just get busy haphazardly, you achieve success haphazardly, and it's unpredictable. It's if you're in the habit of doing things, but you don't really have a system and you just throw them in any order, anytime, they may work, but you don't really know why they're working. And your level of success is not exactly predictable. So, in preparation for this week's training, I should say, because I'm going to call this a training, I pulled out one of my books that I love to use. I've got books like this everywhere, and I know you do too. But I pulled out one of my books because I want to show you how you can set up a book so that you can start setting up your goals. So you can set up a book broken down into different areas, and you can just start breaking it down into whatever works for you. You can have it set up to anything that works for you. So for me, it's purpose, it's personal, it's prosperity, it's set up for play, right? There's all different ways that you can break your book up so that you can have whatever goals you want. It doesn't have to be in a book. It could be on your phone. It could be on the wall. You can put a big, huge piece of paper. You can take gift wrap, turn it around so that you have the white side, and put that up on your wall. And you could throw sticky notes up on it. You could throw pictures up on it. You can build yourself a vision board out of cardboard, however you want to do this. But the idea is that, look, if you want to get somewhere, you could probably get there haphazardly. But wouldn't it be better to have a plan? If you're starting on Long Island and you want to get to LA, it's a lot easier to map out your plan, knowing where you're starting, where you want to go, and all the stops you'd like to make along the way. Then you can plan it out for the best possible route in the least amount of time, making sure that you get to accomplish or see everything that you want along the journey. Or you can just get in the truck and start driving any which direction and take a turn here and take a turn there. And maybe you'll see some other cool sights and you might have some other great experiences, but you might not necessarily get to your goal when you wanted to. And at some point, you may look back and say, wow, I took a lot of wrong turns. Some of them were good. Some of them really didn't serve me well. And some of them distracted me from getting to my ultimate goal. Maybe you made it to San Francisco instead of LA, or maybe you stopped in Phoenix and that was the end of your journey because you just ran out of gas. What I'm saying is, when you create those goals, those results, when you design that, when you decide what it is that you want to achieve in the next year, 2 years, 5 years, in your lifetime, when you have a goal, when you have a vision, when you have a result that you're working toward, let's figure out where you're starting and then let's map it out, break it down. If I want to get here and I'm starting here, I don't just instantly jump to this. There are steps you're going to have to take. And the more you map out the steps and the more you create a strategy, the easier it is to stay on track, the easier it is to follow the course. And here's the kicker, the easier it is to delegate to other people. See, as women, oftentimes we don't delegate because it's all up here. We know what we want, we know what we're trying to do, we know what we're trying to accomplish, and it's all up here. And so sometimes it's just easier to do all the work myself because it'll take me too much time to tell somebody else how to do it. And then if they make a mistake, they screw up, then I just have to step in anyway. And that's going to cost me more time, more energy, more money, blah. You know what I'm saying? Because we've all been there. It is sometimes easier to just do it yourself rather than delegate. However, if you don't delegate, you end up doing all the work all the time, all by yourself. So, what I'm saying is, if we know where we're starting and we know where we want to get to, and we start to map it out, you can hand your roadmap to your team. You can hand your roadmap to your assistant or to your nanny or to your partner or to your associates, and they can step in and take some of the action steps, fill in some of the strategies, help you achieve those small goals along the way so that ultimately you can reach your. If you haven't been setting your goals, you're not alone. If you've been putting it off, you're not alone. If you haven't even wanted to look back over the goals that you set pre craziness, right? Prior to the world going nuts. So if you haven't wanted to look back at all this stuff, because looking at what you wrote and who you thought you were going to be and what you thought you were going to accomplish hurts or breaks your heart or is disheartening or makes you aggravated or makes you mad at the world, and you don't want to look back at stuff that didn't happen, I understand. That's probably one of the hardest steps in setting your goals, is being honest with yourself and looking at, where are you right now? Where are you? And wherever you are right now, it's okay. You are there because you chose to be there. And I know that's a hard one sometimes, but you are there because of the decisions that you made in the past that led you to the place you are right now. That being said, how do we make better decisions? Or how do we make more meaningful decisions? Or how do we make more strategic decisions and have a plan to help us get to the next level? And if it's just a lateral move that you want, that's perfectly fine. That's okay. And for some people, that's exactly what they need in their life. But if you're ready for exponential growth, happens better, faster, and more predictably when we lay out the steps to get us there. So, what I would love for you to do is figure out where you are right now. Decide on a personal basis, on a professional basis, on a financial basis, on a fitness basis, on a fun basis. Take all the categories that matter to you in your life. And that could be your health, that could be your happiness quotient, that could be your relationships, that could be your practice, that could be your finances, that could be your building or your investment portfolio, whatever it is that you want to look at. And I suggest looking at all of it. Maybe break it down. Don't do it all in one shot because it might get overwhelming. But I suggest looking at all of it and taking full inventory of where you are right now and how that makes you feel. And if that empowers you, if that excites you, if that motivates you, if that breaks your heart, if that hurts you, take an honest look at where you are right now, and then take a look at where it is you want to go. And looking at these old goals, look, seriously, if you haven't looked at goals in a long time, looking at these old goals, it may be hard. It may be funny. You may laugh at some of them. You may get upset about some of them. You may look at them and go, I forgot all about that, but I've already accomplished it. It's okay. The last 3 years, 2 years, whatever, have been a blur for most people. And that's okay. But now it's time to get prepared for what's coming next and plan it, create it. Don't just allow it to unfold, but be the driver of your own destiny. And so when you look at those old goals, when you look at those old visions that you had for you, when you look at those old action steps, they may serve you, or you may have outgrown them at this point. They may no longer serve who you have become. So take inventory of where you are. Look at what it was that you said you wanted to accomplish, and then decide for yourself, what is it that really serves me now? There may be some goals you set for yourself that you look at those now and you go, no way. That I don't even know what I was thinking at that point in time, but that is not on my radar screen anymore. Or, yeah, been there, done that, and it wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be, or it wasn't as meaningful, or it didn't make my life any better than it already was. So look at where you are, look at what you thought you wanted, and then decide, what is it that you truly want to accomplish in your lifetime, in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, in the next year. And rather than waiting till January to set your New Year's resolutions and start making goals, what if you set them now and you still have October, November, December? You still got 3 months. That's a full quarter of the year. And in that fourth quarter, what can you accomplish? So my hope for you is that you don't wait. My hope for you is that today is the day that you start to create. My hope for you is that you look at who you were, who you are, and you decide and determine who you're going to be. And you make that a reality by mapping out the steps. Look, if we want to get from Long Island to LA, there are a lot of steps we can take, and not all of them are right for you, and some of them may be wrong, but there's a lot of options there. So you get to decide along this journey, what is it that I want to incorporate? What is it that are my non-negotiables? And what is it that I want to absolutely exclude from this road trip? And then plan it out and make sure that everything you do on a week to week, day to day, moment to moment basis fits into your plan. Obviously, there's going to be room for adventure and excitement and detours and wrong turns, but ultimately, make sure that everything you do keeps you on track to achieve your goal, to reach the end point that you set for whatever time frame, to get the result that you want. And if you start doing that now, I promise you that by the time January rolls around and you want to set your goals for the new year, you will already have created a pattern during the next 3 months that will have your brain used to accomplishing goals that you set yourself. It will have your brain set up to map it out, plan it out, and go for it. So, with that being said, I am going to encourage you to jump in all in now. It's the middle of September. You still have another week or so to figure out what you want to set up for the last quarter of the year, and absolutely set yourself on that path to be ultra successful in the coming year. So let's do it now. Let's jump into it. Ladies, I know that what you're doing in your practice is changing lives. I know that what you're doing in your offices is making a difference. I know that what you're doing for your patients is absolutely helping them to express their fullest potential. But I want you to put the focus on you. I want you to remember that when you get on that plane, they always tell you to put your oxygen mask on first. So it's time to make yourself a priority. It's time to set the goals for whatever it is that you want to accomplish in your life. Put them on paper, put them on the wall, put them in front of you, write them on your mirror, write them on your glass shower doors, put them on your phone as a reminder, set it as your home screen, your lock screen, whatever it takes. Set those goals in writing. And make sure that you revisit them over and over again, and that you hold yourself accountable by setting out a schedule and mapping out a plan and sharing that plan with your team, with your partner, with your family, with whoever is going to help you achieve your goals. And then with reckless abandon, go for it and be successful. Be the person you know that you were destined to be, and go get it. The world is waiting for you to step into your power. I urge you to go do it, and don't wait another minute for an invitation. Here it is. Go create it. Ladies, I know that everything that you're doing matters. Make it matter to you just as much. I want to thank you for joining me this week for Chiro Secures Empowering Women in Chiropractic. I know you've had so many fabulous speakers sharing so much great information with you the last few months. Keep tuning in, stay engaged, send us some messages. As hosts, we love to hear back from you. So reach out to me, reach out to the other hosts, and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job out there. I'm proud to be in this profession with you. I'm proud to see you growing, empowering your communities, and creating massive positive change all over the world. Keep doing it, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Join us each week as we bring you the best in business growth, practice management, social media marketing, networking, leadership, and lots more. If it's about women in practice and business, you'll hear it here. We hope you enjoyed this week's Facebook Live event. Please like us on Facebook, comment, and share. We look forward to seeing all of you next week for another episode of Empowering Women in Chiropractic. Now, go ahead and hit the share button and tell your friends and colleagues about the show. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. This has been a Chiro Secure production.